Hello, my name is Ewan Butland, welcome to my channel. I am doing a video today. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a very long time, and that is my Disneyland Paris Hinton tips. I've been very lucky and fortunate enough to visit the park quite a couple of times now, so I have a few of my own hints and tips to give to you. There are a few Disney YouTubers I do recommend you guys check it out, so I will leave the links to them down below. And this video is from my experience of going to Disneyland Paris from a very young age. I'm 23 years old now and I've been going to the park since I was 9 years old, and I am aware that at the moment they're going, especially the Walt Disney Studios, is going through a lot of changes over the next few years. So I think I am planning a trip for this year in case you guys are wondering, but that's all hush hush at the moment. I'll give you that announcement very soon. I don't know what's made me want to do this video. I feel like there's so much information on Disneyland Paris out there already, and just thought I'd give you guys my own insight of my own perspective of Disneyland Paris from my own experience of visiting the parks. This is just tips and tricks that I have learned over the years, and if you guys like more of these videos and if you would like me to make more of them, I would happily make more of them. Keep subscribe if you want more, or click the notification button on your screen. The first thing I really recommend doing is planning when you want to go. Now, even after my trip last May, from May 2016 I think it was, I was already planning my trip for the 25th anniversary, that trip, so I do recommend planning when you're there, when you would like to go back next. But also the price could change as well on the Disneyland Paris website for that particular year, so it's always worth popping back and forth on the Disneyland Paris website to see what you want. Say I go in June. I'm like, right, I've done spring, I've done June, I've done October. Let's look at Christmas, go in for Christmas. Now that can be the expensive one, if I'm being completely honest with everyone. I have noticed over the past year, Disneyland Paris hotel prices have gone up increasingly massive, and for that price you're better off just going to Walt Disney World. It doesn't stop you from visiting Disneyland Paris anyway, because it really is a beautiful park. Even though Walt Disney World has more to do there, I do recommend Disneyland Paris for a first timer if you want to get the Disney experience. When do I recommend going? I love going in June. June is a lovely time of year to go to Disneyland Paris. It's hot, the weather's absolutely lovely, and the pictures you get in front of the castle are stunning, and in the evenings you can go and sit down around Lake Disney, which is where Disney Village is, and you've got the New York Sequoia Lodge, and you put there around each other. I like to go there, sit down and relax on a nice June evening. Yeah, so I recommend try and go in June at least, but if you're a family, I am aware that it is hard to try and get time off in June with school and everything. You could just do like a mini weekend, but if I'm being honest, you're better off just going in the summer holidays. And I know that can be more pricey, but if you book like from January onwards, it can sort of have a half-board thing going on, so I really recommend checking the main website for that, 100%. The half-board meal plan. We went in June. I can't remember the exact dates me and my nan went from. We went in June last year and we had an amazing time, and the main thing that takes most of our money away from us when we go to Disney is the food, 100%. But it doesn't have to be that way. At the moment, Disneyland Paris, I'll show you on their website now. At the moment, Disneyland Paris have a free half-board meal plan on their website, and this finishes in April, at the end of April. So if I were you, I would book it now, because with the half-board meal plan, it was amazing. It saved me and my nan so much money, so it's well worth it just to look at what you've got on your half-board voucher when you get to your hotel room that night you arrive. Save up to 25% off on your hotel and park tickets package, and as I said, you get a free half-board meal plan with that as well. And this is for When you arrive 1st of April till the 30th of June, you can add a free ferry crossing with P&O ferries, which could be worth looking into if you're travelling by car. But me and my nan, we went by train. We booked a Eurostar to go, and that did cost us extra, but we were in Disneyland Paris within a matter of hours from St Pancras. We left St Pancras around 2 o'clock, and we were there around 6 o'clock in the evening. It was brilliant. You were there within minutes. I recommend, when you look at the Eurostars, I recommend trying to get on a train straight to Disneyland Paris, and one that doesn't stop off in Lille. I know that could be a bit more pricey. It's worth just looking into if you don't want to travel by car or anything, or if you get seasick. Right, as I was mentioning, the half-full meal plan, back to that. You get accommodation in a Disney hotel, any Disney hotel of your choice, and tickets for both Disney parks. That includes Disneyland Paris and the Walt Disney Studios. They're just by each other, which is amazing about Disneyland Paris. Whereas with Disney World, that is a completely different story. You also get free, this is where the meal plan comes in. You get free breakfast in a counter service restaurant in the parks for each night of your stay. Now, when me and my nan, I don't know whether I still have it or not, but we were given a piece of paper with all of our half-full meals, everything that we could only eat in certain restaurants. There was Cafe Mickey, which we did do, and that was amazing. I really do recommend doing it. It is phenomenal. And there's the Ratatouille restaurant, that was included as well. And there's Steakhouse, I think it was, and the one in Main Street. I keep forgetting the name of that one, but I think it was Central Plaza Grills or something. I think that might be a Walt Disney World. Quote me if I didn't want. Ever so sorry about that. But it was only the select restaurants you can eat in, and you were only allowed certain things off their menu, which was a bit of a bummer. You couldn't just have anything. It was only what was on the one side of the menu that you were allowed to have, but you do have to pay for drinks. Your food is free. The only thing you have to pay for with this half board is the drinks, which is the massive downer. But it was worth it just for the free food, really. You was free lunch or dinner for each night of your stay, and also in the mornings when you wake up, there is a Disney character waiting for you and your kids to have that perfect family photo. And there is a professional photographer there, but they do allow you to take pictures with your phone now, which is amazing. Disney never used to allow you to do that, but I think because everyone's got a phone now and has access to one, take pictures with the characters on your phones. They do allow you to do that, but there is also the professional photographer. I do recommend just taking a picture on your phone, otherwise you're going to be spending €20 on that souvenir picture with the character. Sure, it's nice to have, but just use your phone for that, really. Also get free fast passes for every member of your party. I didn't know you could do this for fast pass thing. That was something we weren't told when we got there. I only just found it. I'm not too sure whether this is a new thing or not they've started doing, but it says here, free fast pass for every member of your party, which is great because for rides like Ratatouille, which I still haven't been on yet, Big Thunder Mountain and Space Mountain, that can get queues of up to 2 hours long. I really do recommend getting fast passes for those, because otherwise you're waiting 2 hours in the queue. Those fast passes are for certain attractions. I would ask whoever's at the desk on the day. Stay at the Cheyenne or the Santa Fe, you will only get 15% off plus half board as well. That's one thing I've noticed. But if you stay at Disneyland Hotel New York, which is where I stayed last year, beautiful hotel, Newport Bay Club, Sequoia Lodge, which is where I'm staying this year, you get 25% off and free half board as well, which is fantastic. So if you can squeeze that into your Disney budget, I would highly suggest paying a bit more for a nicer hotel, because otherwise, just so you can get the 25% off, and it will save you so much money on your Disney trip. I also recommend signing up to Disneyland Paris's emails as well, because they can sometimes send you half board offers through their website as well. November last year, they sent me an email saying you get free half-board if you book 2 weeks before you do in November, and this was 2 weeks before the Christmas season actually started, so it's always worth waiting to book it a bit later, just so you can get the half-board offer. I love my Disney merch, I'm not gonna lie. Disneytopia, this cost me €25, which was the average price for a shirt in the parks, but I do recommend buying the shirts before you go, because you can go to Primark sometimes and get some really cheap Disney shirts, and I also recommend looking on ASOS and Boohooman as well, because they've just started the Disney range, and we'll leave links for them down below, and I do recommend budgeting, 100%, so then I recommend putting a certain amount in an envelope each day, so you know your spending limit. Now, unfortunately, I cannot do that. If I see something I want, I have to get it. I'm gonna have to try and learn on this trip to budget. I think that could be a good thing for me to do on this trip, because I am going for Christmas this year, which is the big surprise of this channel. I am going the start of the Christmas season, which I'm really excited, so if you're there, feel free to say hello to me. I don't bite. I think this year I might set a certain amount of money on myself. Whether that's gonna happen or not, I do not know, because Disney always sell nice stuff around Christmas time, and I love their Christmas ornaments, and I saw something last year that I really wanted to get, but it doesn't really fit in my suitcase. Watch out for my haul. Check this before, sign up to the emails, because they will send you offers. Always sign up, keep looking on your emails every day, because they will send you cheap deals and stuff. Not cheap, but like under the thousands. For main 2 budget hotels, there's only 2 of them. That is the Santa Fe, where I stayed at the year before last, and then there's the Cheyenne. I actually stayed there when I was very, very small. I can remember bits of it, but I cannot really remember all of it. I really do recommend the Cheyenne. It screamed Disney to me. It was a beautiful hotel. I know that it's just recently had a refurbishment, so that has made me want to go back to the Cheyenne to see what the new rooms are like. It was from one of my childhood memories. I can remember going to the Cheyenne, having breakfast there. The only thing they did tell you was that the breakfast was a character breakfast, but this is back in the day now. They did tell us that the breakfast wasn't going to be a character breakfast, but that unfortunately wasn't the case. We turned up for breakfast. There was only Mickey Mouse waiting outside for people to have pictures. I recommend Cheyenne if you want a cheap budget Disneyland Paris hotel. The Santa Fe now, I didn't love the Santa Fe as much as I thought I was going to. It's just another Disney hotel I can tick off the list now, and I can stay there, say I've stayed there and not really bother with it again. It wasn't the greatest Disney hotel, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. It didn't feel Disney to me. It was basically a Cars themed hotel now, whereas when I was very small, before Cars even came out, from the pictures it was a Western style, a bit like the Cheyenne, but I think since Cars came out they've decided to go for the Cars theme instead, which I find a bit unappealing, because if I'm being honest with everyone, Cars wasn't one of my favourites. It was a bit of a downer. Another tip I have for you guys is bring your own food if you can. I do recommend this because Disneyland Paris they overcharge for food. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you can, bring your own sandwiches and stuff. If you live in the Paris area, then I recommend doing that. But as for most of us Brits, that's not possible. We have to eat there, unfortunately. Just bring your own food if you can, or bring your own water, which is another good tip. Just bring a water bottle or anything. Could be any water bottle. Just fill it up, and that can be your drink for the day, especially when it's boiling hot. One last thing before I sign out for this video. I hope this wasn't a long video, guys, but I'm just making sure you guys know what you're booking and planning ahead. Get 25% off Disneyland Paris hotels and park tickets. This offer finishes the 25th of April, so remember the offer finishes April 25th. And I will leave a link to the website down below so you can check out the offer and spin to around the parks. If you notice in my vlog from June, which I will leave the link for down below, Disneyland's mod, not this one, I was doing my Donald's one, I do not know where that's on. I recommend getting a bed like this, so then you can put your stuff like your camera, stuff like food, spare food, and if you've got little kids with you, put nappies and stuff in here, whatever they use, and just, I recommend getting a good sized bed like this, get a bed with space like this. I really do recommend it, because this bed here has been my lifesaver for these past 3 Disney trips I've been on, and I could not live without it. I'm definitely, if bands do another collaboration with Disney again, I will be buying another one of their beds. Don't be buying my beds in the park size, because they can be overly priced at $40 to $50 at least. Sorry if I keep saying dollars. I keep thinking I'm doing a hints and tips video for Walt Disney World when I'm clearly not. I will be doing that to Florida soon though, keep in mind. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was different compared to my musical theatre reviews I normally do. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please comment, rate and subscribe down below. I shall leave the links for everything I've said today. If you have a family member who's not really into Disney, I also really recommend getting on the train by the Eurostar. Maybe you get on the Eurostar. I honestly recommend getting a train into Paris just so you can have a look around that beautiful city, as there is much more to see and do apart from Disney, because Paris is a beautiful cultured city. I also really recommend staying on Disney property as well, so you can get the full-on Disney experience. We did that, me and my mum and dad and my brother and sister, we did that a couple of years ago, and we did it with a bus company because it was a nice cheap way of us doing it. But we decided in the end, if we ever do go again in the near future, we're going to stay on Disney property. Personally, I'd rather stay on Disney property, so you're closer to everything, you get your park passes, and you get everything with you as well. And you get the Harper meal plan too. I shall see you guys very soon. Have an amazing day. Bye!